students. So under the analysis of data, today we are going to start the measures of the central tendency. Measures of the central tendency is also known as the measures of the central location. It means central value, the value which represent the whole data. So it represents the central point or the typical value of the data set where the most values in the distribution falls. So it indicates the middle of the information where the whole information lies. So there will be any single value that reflects the center of the data distribution. Okay. You can take the example of your class. Your class has a result in the last year. You scored 70%. So here I'm not talking about any single student or the only intelligent students. Here I'm talking regarding all the students. All the students are included. On the behalf of the whole student, we find out the one value that represents the whole class. Okay, so that central point or that typical value is known as the measures of the central tendency. As you can take the other example, like in the plus 2 examination, one has scored 60% in maths, 70% in science, again 60% in English and 70% in Hindi. And when we talk regarding the average result or the average value, we never say I scored 60% in math, 70 in science. We will say 60% or 70%. So there will be the only one value that reflects the whole result. And same it happens in case of the measures of the central tendency, like a single value that reflects the center of the data distribution. So it indicates the middle of the information. In statistics, the most common measures of the central tendency are: one is mean, median and mode. Each of these measures calculate the location of the central point using a different method. So in today's class we will discuss regarding the mean, that is most popular and well-known measures of the central tendency. It is the average of all the numbers. So what is mean? It is equal to sum of all the values divided by number of those values or the observation. Sum of all the values divided by the number. Okay, getting the difference? On the above side we are taking the sum, on the lower side we are taking the number, and it is always denoted by x bar. So you have to add up all the values divided by the number of values. Suppose you are taking the values 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the infinite level. So you have to sum up all the values and divided by the number of values. So it will be represented like this. So today we will study mean or arithmetic mean. But before studying the mean, we should know in the statistical series there are mainly three series. One in the individual series, other is the discrete, then is the continuous series. So what is the individual series? In which you have only raw data, just a single set of numbers. As you people have given the questionnaire and collected the information, now your people are scoring 20, 30, 40, 50. So you have only raw data. That is an individual series. No class intervals are there, no frequency is there. Just you have the raw data. That is the individual set of data upon which you apply the calculations. So when we talk regarding the discrete series, there will be the frequency along with the class. Okay, and what comes under the continuous series, there will be the proper class intervals with frequency. So this is the difference in the individual, discrete and the continuous series, and every time we have to apply the formula to calculate each series. So let's start how to calculate the mean. First, for the individual series, we can calculate the mean either by direct method or by the shortcut method. but here I am going to describe only the direct method, and the formula for the individual series is x var sigma x over n. Sigma, it means summation or the sum. X is the values we are taking, and n is the number of observations. Number of observation we are taking. Okay. So now we can take an example, like we can take marks like 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. So we have to find out the mean. So we have only raw data or single set of the values. So apply the formula x var summation x over n. So according to the formula, values are 20 plus 40 plus 60 plus 80 plus 100, means summation of the all values divided by the number of all values. How many values are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it is 5. So x is 300 by 5. So we get the central or the typical value, means mean, that is 16 marks or the average value. So second series we have the discrete series. Under the discrete series, as we have the specific x values along with the frequency, like we can take an example of the age 16 years, 17, 18, 19. Frequency of the 16 years students is 35, 17 years 31, under the 18 years 20, then 19 years is 14. So now we have the formula for the discrete series is x var summation fx over n. N, or we can say summation f. N is equal to the summation f. Okay, it is not a small n, it is capital N. Small n is the number of observation and capital N is the summation of the frequency. So either you can use the formula like this, x var summation fx divided by n, or summation fx divided by summation f. Okay. Now next is we have the specific class along with its frequency. Now we have to find out the fx. Fx means 16 multiplied by 35, 17 multiplied by 31, so on. So it is 560, 527, 360, 266. So we done the f into x. Now next in the formula is the summation. For the summation of fx, we find out the sum total of this. Okay, so that is 17, 13, 1713. And next we need the summation of frequency. We had this frequency, so we need the summation of frequency, that is equal to 100. So we got this value and this value. Now put this value in the formula, that is the 1713 over 100 is equal to 17.13 years. So the average age of the students is 17.13 years. So this is the way how to find the mean under the discrete series. Next we will calculate the mean for the continuous series. The formula will be same as the discrete series, that is x var summation fx divided by summation f or n. So we can understand the continuous series better by taking an example. So you have to calculate the mean age of the following age group. as you know, in the continuous series we always take the class intervals. So first we will take class intervals. Like 15 to 20, 20 to 25, 25 to 30, 30 to 35. Okay. Next is the frequency, means how many people lies in specific class interval or the age group. 15 to 20 we have 15 people, 20 to 25 we have 20 people, and 25 to 30 we have 40, and 30 to 35 we have 60 people. So now we have the class interval along with their frequency, and as I already told, the formula remains same. So according to the formula we will multiply the f with x, but we don't have x, we only have the class interval. So we need to find out the x, that is the midpoint. So how we calculate the x? So x is the midpoint. How we calculate the midpoint? That is, we will take lower limit of class plus upper limit divided by 2. So here we will talk regarding the first class, that is the 15 plus 20 divided by 2. Okay, this is 35 divided by 2. So midpoint will be 17.5. So we will do the same calculation for the rest of the classes. So here the x is 17.5. For the next it is 22.5, and for next it is 27.5, then 32.5. Calculation of the midpoint. Now we have the f and x. Now we have to do the same calculation as we applied in the discrete series. Multiply f with x, means 15 with 17.5, that is 262.5 is 450 1100 1950. So after that we need the summation of f and x. Summation of f and x is 3762.5, and we need the summation of frequency, that is 135. Now we have both values. Now again I am going to write the formula, summation fx divided by summation f. So what is the summation fx? That is 3762.5 divided by 135. So the answer will be 27.87 years. So loop is 27.87 years. So this is the way to find out the mean for the continuous series. So if we want to consider what are the merits of the mean, it is very simple and easy method to understand, and moreover it is the reliable one, because here we are taking all the values, no value is neglected. Okay, and it is least affected by the fluctuation of the sampling. And regarding the few demerits of the mean, very large and very small item usually affect the value of the average, and neither it is determined by inspection or graphically. So this is the end of the today's class. Thank you.